The following program is for mature audiences only. The views expressed by the people and other guests on the podcast are their opinions and their own and don't reflect the institutions or establishments that they work for. So please do not get our asses fired or canceled. Thank you very much. Enjoy the show. Hey, what's going on, Glad Gang? It is I, Jay Whitaker. Hopefully you're doing well with yourself. Hopefully you're enjoying. It is, spring as I record this. I just got back from Houston, had a good time at the Riot Comedy Festival. That was fun. So shout out to anybody that saw me down there. Had brisket. Brisket didn't agree with me, but that's for another story. Shows. Got them coming up. Keep going to the website. It's jwhitaker.com. If you're listening to this, my special drops April 1st on YouTube. I want you to go support it. Jay Whitaker's Unprecedented. Shot by my people over at Inglewood Films. I'm going to have them on the show soon. Thank you so much for supporting. If you are listening to this and you don't subscribe to my YouTube channel, give your boy some YouTube love, because I'll tell you right now, you're gonna start seeing more content coming from there. Not just my special, but other things that I'm gonna be doing with Geek Show. Shout out to Geek Show Podcast. Get on Geek Show YouTube right now. Subscribe. So that's the thing. That's the way you can help this brother out. You don't even have to do Patreon. You don't even have to support. We got a Patreon. Glad you made it. At patreon.com/glad-you-made-it podcast. You could do it that way. But if you want to support, even if you broke, you ain't got no paper in this economy. How you can help a brother is just by subscribing to the YouTube channel and subscribing to Geek Show Podcast. You do those things, I will be in your debt forever. Okay, I will probably not be in your debt, but you could mention it to me, and then I will say thank you. You will get a nice, crisp, firm handshake with eye contact or a solid high five, your choice. If you want, I will dap you up, but you can't look at me while we dap up. It's weird. So we can do that. That is however you choose. You maybe that could be a part of the Patreon thing where when we meet, we can choose how we greet each other. But just thank you everybody for supporting. Unprecedented is coming. I'm honestly, I keep plugging it and I tell people, I'm like, it's not perfect, but I'm proud of it because I'm proud of it. I'm proud of who I am in this special. You will definitely see the authentic version of me. And the best part is there's so much more material that I left out so that I could save it for later, fine tune it, and come back stronger for the third one that we're going to do. Inglewood Films in the building. We're going to do something. We're going to keep moving, make moves or make excuses. You feel me? Hopefully y'all are taking care of yourselves. I do want you to reach out via email at gladyoumadeitpodcast@gmail if you know a guest that you want to see on the show. And also just always love the reviews. I appreciate the reviews that y'all giving. I see it, I hear it. But yeah, enough about me. Let's get to why you're really here. Okay. We got a really cool guest in the house tonight. Or tomorrow. We got a really cool guest. You're going to love her. She's wonderful. I had a chance to meet her at a festival last year. She's done Conan, Just for Laughs, New Faces, Comedy Central, MTV, TBS. She was in Bad Santa 2, okay? All right? She's on the Late Late Show with James Corden, and she just dropped her new Comedy Central special, Gen Z. It's a brand new hour. It's awesome. You're going to love it. Go to Comedy Central's YouTube and check it out and show some love for our guest right now, Jenny Zigrino. Welcome back, Glad Gang, in studio or in the comforts of her own neighborhood, domicile, I met this wonderful person at the Rogue Island Comedy Festival. We had a good time, shared a pizza, talked about our love of the G Spot. Not, well, that place, but Glendale,
We do
California.
love Glendale, the original G Spot.
The original G Spot. In the house I have today, Jenny Zigrino. Thank you so much, man.
You did it again.
I did. What? I said
you did. You said
how
Jenny
did I do
Zigrino.
I said Zigrino. I promise I said
Zigrino.
that.
No, I want you to keep it in because I want people to hear it.
No, like that's the thing. Fair enough. I said Zigrino.
I do the zings. That's Jenny Zigrino because she's a comedian who zings, baby.
My bad.
Zing ding ding. I love it. I love it.
I have done this multiple times. I have mispronounced Joseph Smith. I called him Joseph Smythe.
I don't know how you did that. That is wild.
Yeah. People have messed up my name. Jay Whitaker.
Jay Whitaker?
Yep, that one. Jay Whitaker.
Jay Whitaker.
So yeah, I'm a good person, but I always screw things up. But it is wonderful to have you here, Jenny.
Thank you for having me.
How are you?
I'm good. Just it's that day before you hit the road. You're touring, you're traveling, you're getting stuff together. My mummy came by today and got me sushi and took my dog. So, we're doing it. We're moving, shaking. We're about to go to Boise. Then we're going to go to Seattle, then Portland.
I love it. All right. Well, first of all, congratulations on everything that you've been doing.
Thank you.
And the biggest thing I wanted to talk, why I wanted to have you on, I know you just dropped a comedy special, but it on Comedy Central. So let's talk about it because yours was done independent. Well, you crowdfunded, correct?
Yes. So it's called Gen Z. You can get it on their YouTube, and it's full hour. And I crowdfunded it in November, between August and November of 2021. And so it was friends, family, fans. We got some from GoFundMe. We got some donations. I opened an OnlyFans and showed my butt off a little bit.
Good for you.
I always love to say no nudity. I'd like people to know it's not nudity. Not I'm shaming anyone who does nudity. That is amazing for you. I'm so proud. I just would like to someday possibly work for Disney.
Yeah.
I
like it. I dig it.
Yeah.
I have an OnlyFans that's with no nudes as well. So
there you go.
Respect. It's just me mowing my lawn.
You know what? People like it.
Honestly, I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. Like, y'all think I'm playing. Like, people that listen, they know. I appreciate their support. But yeah, like
it's hot lawn content.
Yeah, just hot lawn.
Do you call it lawn tent?
No, it's so my at name is because I love hip hop. It's called Mos Def, and so it's
mowing?
Perfect.
Mos Def. Okay, I like it.
Yeah. So just
but it's hot lawn tent.
It's just lawn tent. I like that.
Lawn tent.
But yeah, you did this. You did this on your own, and so
I didn't do it on my own though. I did it with the help of everybody.
Well,
that's the thing.
True.
I just had the idea to try to get people to pay for it.
I think that's dope. Do you think that's going to be the new thing or?
I think it will be the new thing of people putting stuff out. It's kind of nice in a way, and it's also not great in a way. I think as comedians, we all kind of have mixed feelings about this. Comedians, I feel like we're so like, this is the way it's done. You have to do it this way. There are gatekeepers and they have to be respected. And then there are people who are like, I'm not doing that. And then you kind of go, hell yeah. But then you also go, nah, you should have waited. You should have, you needed a gatekeeper. What are you doing? And so, it's kind of the same thing as like, I remember when YouTube was getting big and all the old timer comedians who I should have known not to listen to because they were still living in their 50s in Massachusetts. Like, for not to say nothing, but like, I was like, I want to be a famous comedian on television all the time. And they were not on television all the time. Yet they were telling me, don't do YouTube. It's stupid. You got to go through all the shit rooms. You gotta fucking grind and work hard, and that's how you're gonna make it. And then every YouTuber popped off.
Yeah. And
And
props
now we're
to it
playing
because
catch
it's,
up.
and that's, I think I just love the willingness to bet on yourself. And, you know, I'm happy for you in that regard. And also, I feel like this experience probably definitely let you know that you had a built-in audience. You know what I mean?
It did. It's been growing, which has been great. It was really nice. So what happened is we made it. We made it, and then we sold it. So then Comedy Central's the distributor,
Right.
and then the album is coming out on April 14th. So if it's out before that, go pre-order it. Because that would be cool to have a number one album. That'd be pretty dope.
Do it. Do it.
Um,
Support it.
support it. Yeah, and so I guess I kind of did it out of spite, where I was like, it was 2021. I hadn't really been working, and had this feeling that like everyone else was putting out specials. Why can't I do it? I am also great. And if I don't, I'll just quit comedy. And I did bet on myself, and it kind of paid off. So it's like I don't think it shot me. You know what it feels like? It feels like I just got back on track to where I was before the pandemic in a way.
That's dope. That's dope, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's fine.
yeah. I mean, and it's got to be, and plus, it's like I know it feels good to just get rid of that material and kind of put it to the side so you can move on to the next thing, because obviously that 2020 2022 phase is that was such a weird time. And all of those, I'm sure that material may start to age out for you. And so
Yeah.
so like I just put together an independent thing myself. And I was just in town in Salt Lake City, and I was just like, let's just tape. And it's not perfect, but I'm very proud of it. And so like, that's the thing. 'Cause I was like, if I don't get rid of this now, I'm going to sound stupid in, 6 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, let's just, people get mad people get mad at people for trying. You know what I mean? Like, aren't we supposed to just continue to try in this
Wait, who's mad at you?
profession?
Is anyone mad at you? Do you want me to fight him?
No. I mean, it's how the scene
but
can
the people
be.
Who are but the people who are shitting on it or trying or whatever aren't doing it.
Yeah.
So it's like how much it's like the old timers in Boston. It's like how much can you actually trust them to know anything when they're not doing anything?
Yeah. And it's not just old timers in the specific region. It's everywhere. I feel like in comedy scene, there's always going to be, those that just may be a bit negative, I guess, for lack of better terms, because you don't, who knows what's going on in their world. Maybe they didn't have Metamucil that morning. I don't know, but like
I just was writing some bits about trolls and about just like the shit that they say and like how it's interesting to be like a fat woman online because you are yelled at for just existing. Like, if I just like eat on my feed, like if I were to like eat a pizza, right, I would be promoting obesity. Because I'm just like a fat lady eating food. How dare I?
I kind of want to compare our comments because
I would love to.
Because personally, like I did a special for Dry Bar, and being a black comedian in Utah,
rough.
I had therapists breaking down my material, like get this black man out of the sunken place, and then like bringing up like, oh, my childhood, and I'm like, I don't know. I personally don't know how you deal with internet trolls. So props.
I mean, I try not to look.
Because you want the engagement, right?
Well, some of it, but when it's on my page, it's fine, it's nice. But if it's on a bigger platform like YouTube or like even Comedy Central's One, I think they filter some of them, but you can get some like really, really bad ones. I actually would love. Would it be painful if we shared some of our
No, I can't
comments?
do it. I
You
can't
can't
do
do
it.
it. Okay, here
Like maybe
I'll
I'd
pull up
have to.
one.
Yeah, I'd love to. I don't. Let me. All right, hold on. All right, for the sake of
No, I don't want there to be any. I don't want you to get triggered and fall into
a
what is it, the
depressive
sunken
spiral, and then like I have
place.
to call my therapist with an emergency situation.
Pretty much, pretty much.
How?
Let's
But like,
see. I mean,
what's your
drag art
favorite
is
one?
my favorite comment.
Well, yeah, what was there a comment in particular where you were just like, oh, this is too
Oh,
good?
it always is funny to me. Okay, so this is, you might hear this on stage at some point, but it is always funny to me when I get a comment that is like, there, look, I hope this isn't like a clean, like clean
Fuck off.
podcast.
No, no, you can say whatever
But
you want.
I get sometimes, just as women get this a lot. Someone will say something like, she's so fat, no one would rape her. And I'm like, thank God. From
Wow.
from your mouth to God's ears, buddy. I hope it never happens. Thank you.
Yeah. What?
Like,
What?
thank you for the
Sad-
prophecy. Where it's like, I'm like, why is that an insult?
what
Like,
terrifying human in just a hoodie wrote that?
yeah, I'll get stuff like that all the time. And even like I was having a little bit of a breakdown when the special released because I was starting cuz Comedy Central made me a collaborator on one of the reels.
Okay,
So I was
that's good.
seeing well, it was somewhat. I was seeing their comments from their people.
Uh
And their people are not as nice as the people commenting on mine who love my work. Theirs was a lot of like, this is supposed to be comedy. This is what women are funny. I knew women aren't funny. God, oh, she's so ugly, or like whatever. It was, and that is that's a that's the thing about being a creator in this day and age is like you never had to deal with all of the shit when you were just putting stuff
hmm
out,
Yeah.
even like 20 years ago, because we didn't put stuff out. We just were, you know, just doing jokes, and then we'd get on Carson and get a show forever. Not
Yeah, that
anymore.
and you sit down on the couch, and next thing you know, you're royalty now.
Yeah.
But
Or you just did your set and no one talked about it. You just didn't talk about it after. It didn't live on
or
forever.
or you'd read about it in the paper 2 weeks later.
Yep. Yeah, like where are the reviews? Or the next day, like when they're on a Broadway show, they're like, "We've got to read the reviews." It's like,
In
oh,
TV Guide, you
yeah.
know. So, but I don't know. Like, props to you because what I got a comment about 3 days ago, and someone just put mid, and that one was the one that like messed me up more than anything because I was
You know
like,
what? I think that's a fine compliment. That's
I
a
know, but it's still, I just try. I'm cautiously optimistic and a positive person. So I just said, thanks for watching. And then, you know,
yeah.
cool. Like, I'm not for you, but thanks for watching it. And he just says, wish I hadn't. And I was just like,
Why did you engage?
I
Why are
don't know.
you engaging?
I
That's the key is not to engage.
I was trying. I was
Man.
trying to get I was trying to let the algorithm, and
Oh yeah, you're just like I have to engage so that
yeah,
people will do
it
something.
clapped back at me. It clapped back at me, and so yeah, oh my god,
No, no, that was your first problem.
yeah, you know, I have a lot of lessons to learn, a lot of valuable lessons to learn, but um, I did like I really enjoyed your special, I really
Thank
did. You know,
you.
I enjoyed the bidet. I wish I wrote that the
Oh,
bidet.
the bidet and the balls, great. I mean, my
Yeah,
friend when he said it, I was just like, oh my god.
yeah, I that was one I was like, damn, I wish I wrote that. And like, that's just a fun set, and
Yeah.
you're feeling confident, smiling. It's just
Oh, I
good
was a
vibes all in.
wreck. I was an absolute wreck. I
Ooh,
was
this
not
part. Let's
feeling good or confident. Here's the thing is like I was so busy in getting the money and the prep for it and
Mm-hmm.
producing it that I felt really awful about my material.
Mm.
And so I feel like I wish I would have had at least one extra producer so that I could just
Yeah.
be more focused on my material. But then also too, I was so anxious, I was self-sabotaging. So even when I had time to sit and work on the material, I still didn't do it.
Mm.
So it's like, I feel like everyone's like, oh, it's great. It's good. It's great. And I'm like, oh, yeah. But also I know how I feel and how I wish it could have been a little better. And there were just like some things like I I can't really watch it. You know what
I
it is?
know.
Like I have to so
I
much
feel you.
separate myself from that person. I just have to be like,
Yeah.
it's another female comic. It's not me.
Right. Because you look back and you're like, I'm not that person anymore.
I'm
I
not.
did.
I'm a completely different person now. I'm almost
Yeah.
2 years older than that person.
Right. I look at my first one on Dry Bar. It was 6 years ago.
Yeah.
I was so down bad. You know, like just ridiculously down
Yeah.
bad. Oh my God, I did that spot so I could pay the rent and child support, and I could only pay, I put it towards child support and maybe a couple other bills, and that
Yeah.
was it. And then I was broke the rest of the month, and like, what do you do? And so now I have a mortgage and a marriage, like growth, motherfucker.
Yeah. That's crazy. I mean, I feel like uh now the difference in like I don't know what your new special's like, but I know that like the what I'm working on for the new one, it feels like your first special's like a hi, here I am. This is
Hmm.
me. Here's some fun things I thought about,
Yeah.
right? Your second special maybe has like a little bit of a more an idea. Like mine has kind of a through line. It connects in different ways. This next one though is definitely very a critique of things going on in the world and like you know
Okay.
economically,
Let's get it.
socially, women, men, um, dating, my own struggles, and somehow combining both like, my relationship with with men and with myself and with food and kind of like I think they're all kind of intertwined in a way.
Yeah.
Like usually if you have like an eating disorder or something, your ability to love and care for other people and yourself are always affected.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. One of my favorite books is Intuitive Eating.
Isn't it
For
a
those
great
who,
book?
it's such a good book. It's
I've
such a
tried to
good
get
book.
so many people to read it where I'm just like, just read it. And they're like, but
Everybody, like,
if I just eat
yeah,
whatever I
this is
want,
no
I'll
longer a podcast.
die.
This is just a plug for Intuitive Eating. Great book.
It's great. It's great.
It's,
I was just on a podcast where I was talking about intuitive eating and talking about dieting and talking about just like diet culture and how bad it is and all this stuff. And then
mhm.
I after I was done, I was like, man, I'm so nervous for when it comes out because I feel like this guy's gonna get so much shit because when you attack people's diets, you attack their religion.
Nah.
You know what I
I
mean?
feel, I hear where you're coming from, but at the same time, it's just like, you got to go with what works for you and like what makes you feel happy. Because
Yeah.
I, I stay in shape because I have to do it for my job.
Yeah.
That is, you know, I'm, and so like that's just how it goes. But at the same time, I hate it. And honestly, it is the only
Mm.
way I can compartmentalize and deal with my personal struggles, my PTSD, depression,
Yeah.
anxiety. I got the big three,
Yeah.
and it's like, so it's the only thing that keeps me balanced without going on meds. I would, sometimes I think about going on meds, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
I'm not against going on meds. I'm all for people that are taking them. I just think if I I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like when I work out, I feel that, and I diet better, that I'm actively in some sort of control
Yeah.
versus.
It's the gentle nutrition part of intuitive eating.
Right. Yeah. Okay. There we go. There we
Yeah,
go.
it's
But
the once you get through the muck of figuring some of your shit out, then you go to the part where you're like, okay, So I allowed myself to have whatever I want, the stuff that I've been keeping from me. This happened to me.
Yeah.
I did it. And then I realized half the foods that were my taboo, whatever, I didn't even like them.
Mm.
Like,
Mm.
I just was like, oh, I actually don't. Like, when I sit and I'm present and I'm eating it and I'm like allowing myself to eat it and I'm sitting in the feeling of it, I don't like this. And I
Yeah.
know too, I'm going to feel sick afterwards. Right. So I was just like, okay, all right. So here comes the gentle nutrition part where it's like, let's figure out actually what makes me feel good. And it's like, you know, certain stuff, it just was like, oh yeah, this doesn't make me feel good. And other stuff, I was like, this is kind of fine. Like
Yeah.
yeah. Like, and
Well,
yeah.
I just got back from Houston, and so sure enough, I'm in Houston. You're gonna eat brisket.
Of course you are. It's delicious.
Yeah, but guess what? Had it,
You
got
got that
sick
heartburn.
multiple times. I had brisket 3 times, 3 for 3, got sick. And so I go the last night I was there, or the last 2 nights I was there, I had salads and fish, and everyone's making fun of me there. And I was just like, you know what? I'm okay with this because it don't work for me. It just
Yeah.
don't work for me. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah. You had it and you were like, okay, it was good. I don't feel great. And now I'm going to do the thing that my body wants me to feel.
Right.
But you're not going to sit there and be like, well, I fucked up. I'm so bad. Now I got to go work out for 2.5 hours or whatever.
Right. And I didn't do anything like that. I just was like, oh, okay. Well, don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Don't need to be.
That's why I loved it. So I talked a lot about on the podcast about this intuitive eating and stuff, and we'll see. I feel good about it. I feel fine. But so the next special is going to be about my struggles with, I think, well, who knows? Who knows what the next one's going to be about? But I want it to be about my ED and my relationship dating issues and how they kind of intertwine. So it's like the search for love is very similar to the search for self-love and how we self-sabotage that in so many ways. I self-sabotage it.
I think most comics are experts in self-sabotage.
Right?
But at the same time, when we do decide to repair and heal and do the work, oh yeah, I'm putting all my money on comics because I feel like we just know we're so observational. I know I'm like hyping us up right now, but it's just like I love to see people get on their grind and come back strong. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I'm just happy for you that you're in a place where you feel like you can talk about that. You mentioned self-love. If you don't mind me asking, how do you take care of yourself? How do you self-love?
I will say that it does kind of ebb and flow a little bit, right? So sometimes you really love yourself, sometimes you don't. I think one of the number one things, and it's so simple. So I went through a breakup last year that was so, I think everyone has that one that was so, and it usually is because it's a narcissist and it's narcissistic abuse. But afterwards I was so broken, I did not know what else to do. Like I was so broken. And I was like, man, the only thing I haven't really tried is really committing to this idea of loving myself, like really fully and 100%. And it just started with saying it in the mirror and it felt so stupid. And then just saying it over and over and over again as like affirmations. And eventually it just felt good to say it to the point where it felt comforting to say it. To felt like I could feel endorphins being released versus anxiety, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So it started with something as easy as that, saying it in the mirror, writing it down, doing just listening to positive affirmations in the morning, subliminal shit, just like filling your day with as much like I love myself as I can. And I would even say things like, I love you, Jenny. Like I would change it
Yeah.
to being third person. I love you, Jenny. I love myself. I'm enough. What are some other ones? I'm great as I am. I have everything I need. All those things. And I think eventually working through that and then working through the process of detachment and letting things go has
Mhm.
also been very helpful in like in I don't mean detachment as like uh I'm detached from human emotion or other people. It's
Right.
like just practicing detachment is like you're just not attached to the outcome of anything. You're not attached to the control of it. So
I
it's like
love
I
that.
I can control how much work I'm doing. I can't control how it's received necessarily. I can't control if someone
Absolutely.
wants to buy it or not, but I know that I can control how excited I am about it and how good it is. So like I have some projects now that I'm working on because I'm excited about it and not so much like, will it's going to get sold? Will it get sold? I'm like, no, they're important pieces that I think will stand on their own and they'll get made. I don't know how, but it'll get made. That's the
Right.
same with the
Well,
specials. Like, I don't know. In August of
yeah.
2021, I was like, I don't know. I'm just gonna start raising money and I know this will happen and I'll figure it out. I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of the process. I mean, so many people are, well, I mean, we all get in our own way. We all self sabotage. And
Yeah.
the biggest part of the process is progress. You know what I mean? And you have to take that step to just say, I can't control any of this, but I can control what I do
Mm-hmm.
with the work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, and like, yeah, I love the mirror trick. The mirror, I call it the mirror trick because I would trick myself. Eventually just looking in the mirror, saying those affirmations. I'm big on Ron Funches, and so I
I
would
love
say like,
Ron. Love him.
yeah, Ron's amazing. And so especially to see a black man talk about mental health the way that he does,
Yes.
and it's so helpful uh for me personally. And so it is like been, I would look in the mirror and I'd be like, Jay, and it happened in Houston. I said, I'm proud of you. I'm proud, like, because I'm still putting in the work. I'm not, I have other obligations that don't allow me to put as much of my 10,000 hours into comedy.
Mm-hmm.
But that's, in a few years, that's going to change possibly. But now but I am still putting the work and still putting in my craft and like, I looking in the mirror every day. It sounds silly, but I know because when you just look at it, you're like, we're gonna be all right.
Yeah. You are
And
gonna be
but
all right.
yeah,
And you're gonna get
and
it and you're gonna get it done. And stuff in a way is always working out for your best. Like with the breakup, and I think a lot of people who've gone through a horrible heartache know that once you come out of it, you probably are really thankful in some way for it.
yeah,
It really, like, I
ab-
am 100% different as a person and how I think because of that person. And I think I've also absorbed qualities of them that I like.
yeah,
And you always learn from new people, no matter what. And it's like, there's all these like little gifts that I think that we just don't see. And I think that, it also took, I will be honest, it took me it took me a minute to be as excited about the special coming out because I had a lot of like ideas of what it was going to look like
mm,
when it came out and all this stuff. And it wasn't it. And then it kind of like, I distilled it down to like, it's out, it's on a huge platform. And the reason it's out is because there's a certain amount of people in this world who love what I do and believe in me and
yeah,
love my work. Right. And it's like
right,
it's hard to remember that like, that's why I say it's so many people go into this shit. It's really hard to, when you're like, I'm gonna be, this is the next fucking, uh, you know, not Chappelle, but whatever. What's
yeah,
another big
yeah.
comic that likes trans people.
What? Wait, were
Very.
you
I have a lot
hands
of
on in the?
thoughts. What?
Were you hands on in the editing process?
A little bit, yes. So I was
Yeah.
dissecting. There were 2 tapes, and I dissected
Okay.
which jokes I wanted from which.
Yeah.
And it just it. I was just partnered with really good people. People who did it is DangerWorks TV. I
Yeah.
went to college with them, so it was
There you go.
no brainer. I use them for everything. Whenever I film anything, I'm like, DangerWorks, what's up? They're great. New York City, go use them. And then the album and sound is by Blonde Medicine, who approached me for an album, and I was like, well,
That's
let's make a
great.
special out of it.
Hell
That's how it
yeah.
all kind of started. Was I was like, well, if I'm going to do an album, I might as well have video to go with it.
Yeah. I was telling if she's listening, and I hope I told her she was thinking about doing a. I won't name her, but she was thinking about doing a special in Texas, and she wanted. I was like, why? She was just going to do an album. I'm like, why
No.
don't you tape it?
Tape it. It's all about clipping now. I hate it.
Yeah, exactly.
But I've realized it's only comics that hate it. We hate it. But regular people don't hate it. They like it. They're like, I love laughing. I love seeing new comedy. We're just tired because we keep seeing the same shit. And we go, fuck, man. And it's just it's more added work for us. But other people love it. We're the only ones who are putting up crowd work as hack because we're not getting 1 million views off of our crowd work.
Right.
You get 1 million views off of it and start booking fucking Matt Rife, you're gonna enjoy putting up your crowd work.
There you go. Yeah, I put out a crowd work clip yesterday. 22 likes, killing the game.
Hell yeah! Hell
if you guys need me, I'll be headlining the at Fenway Park, sold out. But but that's what. But it was a fun. I did enjoy the clip because it is a fun moment. It made my wife laugh. It made my son laugh, and so I was like, I'll put it out. Whatever, I don't care. It's fun, but. I am excited to put out my special so I can, clip the actual jokes. But now comedians, like you said, comedians hate the work because we have so much more. We're doing more already. We're writers.
I just hired an assistant today because I can't do it all. Yeah, I think that's. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's just you go ahead. You hire an assistant because there's just so much work.
There's so much work to do now. There's so much work, so much posting, so much clipping. Getting everything organized, then you're also, it's the things are expected of us to now make so much new material and have it for free and be our own. I mean, I have a manager and I have an agent. Yeah. They're not huge. I'm not with a huge company, right? Mm-hmm. They don't have assistants. They don't have huge people to help. They're doing their shit. I have to hold up my end of the bargain as well. And it's it is just, it gets to be so much, and then make sure that you are all the emails are answered, all this shit. And it can just be so exhausting. So I'm lucky enough that I have, $100 a week I can spare to have just someone do it for me so that I can go back to doing the comedy.
Yeah. Cause there's nights where I'm like, I should probably clip. I'm going through footage. I try to tape a lot of my sets, and I'm going through stuff that was 4 months ago, but I'm looking for a solid clip, just in whether it's an actual joke or crowd work. And I'm like, I just don't have the time. I don't have the bandwidth. I want to be accessible. I want to spend time with my family.
Yeah.
Because
I'm single. I got all the fucking time in the world.
Lucky.
And it's still overwhelming. I'm at the gym and I'm on the fucking cardio bike and I'm clipping.
Yeah.
I'm putting captions on while I'm exercising. So it's just there's not a minute where you can just sometimes just be a comic.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you brought that up, because I think a lot of people just think that we hang out at bars and eat mozzarella sticks, and then we write our jokes, and then we go tell them, and then we just go home like rock stars in our, and it's no, there's so much more that goes into it. And
there's so much.
I'm not at a at a household name level. I'm a solid regional guy. You know what I mean? And like, I know my lane, but I'm trying to get better. But it's just like, man, it's so much work, and there's so much work that goes into it. So like that's why when I saw that you were putting out a special, I was excited. I know I was excited and happy for you because the conversation. We only had a quick conversation when I met, but it was just good vibes. And
Thank you.
But I was really just happy once I found out it was crowdfunded. I was just like, man, that's just wonderful because I know the work that goes into that.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. It is.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, and like again, there's no again. We didn't say this before, but it is. We do get to do the thing that we love, which is pretty dope. And then once you're kind of out of your job, you're gonna be able to like put in all the time and energy into this, and then if you've gotten this far off of not even having full-time access to it, like I can't imagine how much you're gonna just like explode when you do have the full-time access.
I thank you. I'll take that to the bank. Like I'm gonna look in the mirror and say, I'm proud of you, Jay. And you know what? I'm not your mirror, but I'm gonna look at you and I'm gonna be like, I'm proud of you, Jenny.
I'm proud of you, Jay. You did it.
Thank you. Like, we're doing so. One day, I hope to do another show with you, and I hope there's a mirror nearby, and we can just look at each other like, proud of you, proud of you. Let's go.
You did it.
Let's go eat some terrible food.
Oh, hell yeah! What's the one food that like you love but hurts you so much?
Honestly, okay, I kid you not. As we're recording this, I have another podcast that I do with my team, Geek Show Podcast, and we're gonna we have a segment called Kids Table, where it's the younger members of the show where we eat terrible food. So I'm going to be eating a KFC Double Down.
Nice.
With a Mountain Dew Sweet Lightning lemonade. I don't know. This is what I was told to order. Like it's not my sad meal, but like that's the first thing that comes to mind. I think what I would probably say wings, maybe when I just need like wings for me is probably like if I need that comfort food, it's gonna be some whiskey and some wings. What about you?
Ooh. The one that causes me the most physical pain is always gonna be a very creamy, cheesy pasta dish.
Oh,
so like a fettuccine Alfredo. If I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna be in for the next week, I'll have it.
No, I have to retract my statement because mine is more of a snack, not a meal.
Okay.
But I will eat it. I will engulf myself into it like it is a meal. I'm not proud of this. This is, and there are people that can vouch that know I've eaten this. I buy a shit ton of chips, salt and vinegar kettle chips, Funyuns, Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
Okay.
And then I just put it all together like just some.
You make your own trail mix?
Sad Chex Mix, yeah. Like it's just, and I just go to work. I go to work.
I love that. That sounds like such a good like Super Bowl, like just a good like hearty. It covers all your bases.
No,
you got your protein with the Cheetos. You got your probiotics with the vinegar. I don't know.
Like I like how you're trying to like, it's a good like you're trying to give me points.
All you need is you need protein, fat, and fiber, right? So
this shit is not on the food. This shit is not on the food pyramid. We got our
fat, and the fiber is in the potatoes. You got everything. You got protein, fat, fiber.
All right, well let's put together our new fitness commercial. Let's shit on diet culture.
It sucks. All you need is protein, fat, and fiber, baby. That's the hunger crushing combination.
Yeah, that's right. Crush that shit with that this hood Chex Mix, this cul-de-sac Chex Mix.
I love it.
Go. Hell yeah. That's terrible. Like Luckily I don't eat like that anymore. This was during the sad times. This was,
We all go through
you
the
know,
sad times.
the
My
sad times
comfort
that
food is pho. I'll order pho.
yes.
Yeah.
But I can barely get that out here. You know, I
Where
live
are
in
you
South
again?
Shore. I'm in South Shore in Mass.
Oh,
And
okay.
so
So you know the old
and
timers I'm talking about. You know the old timers. All their
yep.
Irish last names. I love them. You guys are great.
Yep.
You guys are
I
great.
love it.
All you Sweeney Todds.
You're just cutting it up. All right. But either way, I get it. It's I just yeah, a lot of the food here is just well, you know,
I know
because the
South
food
Shore. Look, you guys got a Whole Foods. Okay, there's a Whole Foods somewhere.
it's yeah, but it's not seasoned right. We went
What
to
is the wait? What's the one? And that's not a Holliston. I'm trying to think of the. It's a South Shore town. Starts with an H.
I'm in Plymouth though.
Oh yeah, but it's a little north of you. It's like near Situate.
Yeah. Oh,
But
so
yeah, I
it's not
forget what it's
too
called.
bad.
One of those towns,
But
Hamilton,
I went
Hawthorne.
I went to a spot in Plymouth. I won't name the name because I'm friends with some of the people that work there. But listen, they had it all wrong. They put on the menu shrimp and grits. Like it was a barbecue joint that's trying to do
Okay.
Southern,
You're
like soul
trying.
food style.
Okay.
And so I'll roll up there. You know, like I see collard greens on the menu. I see fried chicken and jambalaya. Okay,
Yeah.
like when that shit was, you could tell. Like I was like, this is rice-a-roni. Y'all put the shrimp in late. This shrimp is pink. It should be at least brownish. You know what I'm saying? From
Yeah.
seasoning. The fried chicken was dry. The greens had no
Oh,
vinegar. I was like, where's
no.
the pot liquor? My wife, who grew up here,
She had
who
the best
is
time.
she was like, this ain't.
Oh.
She was like, this ain't right. She's like,
Wow.
she called him
Okay.
out, and I
All
still
right.
tipped.
Well, it's not the waiter's fault
Exactly.
that it wasn't cooked right.
But I was like, who y'all got back in the kitchen? And then I turned around and I saw who was in the kitchen. This poor. I felt bad because I was like, oh, it's not even her fault. You just know, you ever just look at somebody and just know their name is Mackenzie?
Yes.
And like,
Yes.
it's,
There's a documentary. I'm gonna say documentary very lightly. About North Shore roast beef sandwiches.
oh my God.
It's a 3-way. You have it with roast beef, barbecue sauce, and man, I forget what the other thing is, but it is like this. You have to find this documentary. It is the most towny
I love
North
it.
Shore, Massachusetts people. One guy, his name is like Tony 2 times.
Oh
And
my
he's like,
God.
I've been eating, roast beef sandwiches since the day I was born. There's one guy on there. He says he's 35. Okay. And he goes, yeah, dude, I've been crushing cows since I was for 30 years. By
Crushing
yeah,
cows.
it's eating a sandwich. It's crushing cow.
I've never heard that.
Dude, I've been crushing cow for 30 years, dude. Crushing cow. It killed me. I want to
Can I name the episode that?
I need to make this documentary about the documentary because it's so massive. It's so Revere. It's so Lynn. It's so every North Shore. Like, it's wild.
I'm glad you explained this to me because, like, all right, so I moved to Mass in like basically 2020.
Yeah.
And so, and I'll just say it. I have no problem calling out my weak spots. I struggle in the North Shore. I do fine in the New England region, but you put me in the North Shore, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. And one night I just made fun of him. I was just like, I'm sorry. Yes, everyone. I'm not from here. It's okay. I don't have your accent. I found out what a bubbler was like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, bubbler. Dude.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't have your local references to the hockey team, and shout out to Bob's Automotive and go roast beef sandwiches.
Go Kelly's.
Like, what?
Kelly's roast
I don't
beef.
know.
Did you try Kelly's?
No, that's the thing. I don't mess with North Shore too much.
If you do fuck with the North Shore again in the summer, go to Revere Beach. It's very cute. They have the old Kelly's that's from like the 50s. And they serve, you go park your car. It's a counter restaurant. There's no seating. It's all outside. Get your roast beef sandwich and just eat it close because the seagulls will come in and they'll take your sandwich away.
That's like, damn.
Oh yeah, no, I've been putting the horseradish on my and it's real horseradish. Okay. I've been putting the real horseradish on it, and as I'm doing it, the seagull just swooped in and took all the meat from my sandwich and left.
I will say, I'm growing up on the West Coast, the seagulls weren't as strong as they were out on the East.
Those Revere seagulls, dude, they will fuck you up, bro.
Yeah, they're just crushing cows.
They're just crushing cows. I'm gonna send you the clip. I'm sending you this clip.
I need that. No. Oh my gosh. So I gotta get you out of here. I want to make sure you get some good rest before you get on the road. And I know you're going to Boise.
Yeah.
I actually just hung out with my homie from Boise the
Ooh.
other day. So shout out to Blair. I'll make sure I'll tell him to pull up and come see you. So
tell her to come by.
Yeah. Oh, Blair is a he.
Oh, tell him to come by.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll come through. Yeah, seriously.
Okay.
But much love to you. Is there anything that you just wanted to plug? Last words, last thoughts, last ideas? Any advice that you would give to any aspiring creator with a dream that wants to crowdfund it or whatever? Just put some.
Just do it. We're all just clipping at this point. clip away. And also, know that you are a reserve of comedy. Like, you're not gonna ever run out of material.
Yeah,
you will find stuff if you really like it, and it's part of like a bigger opus that you're making. Then keep it. But it's fun to riff. Put the riffs up. Put like, do shit on the road. I do like food reviews on the road. I just do stuff on the road while I'm in my hotel room. Like, I'm packing right now. I got the ring light. I got the shit. I'm just trying new shit all the time. Yeah. I'm starting a podcast where I read essays I write in order to get me to write essays. I'm working on a book. I'm also going to have a pod. You know what I mean? Like, you can combine all these things and become a creator machine, which is good because it's like that gets you prepped for when you do explode. You've got all this shit.
Hell yeah.
And take classes, please. Comedians, don't be fucking... I'm not going to take an acting class. I know how to act in comedy. No, you don't. You don't know. Acting on the screen for comedy is so different than doing stand-up. Go take a fucking class. Quit thinking you're better than everybody. You're not. And go take a class.
Right. Exactly. Because when you're on camera, when you're performing for comedy on camera, it's not about what you think is funny. It's what the character is doing that's funny. And if it's, I don't know that, but yes, go take a damn class, y'all. So, thank you so much. You're out here clipping and crushing.
Crushing cow.
Clipping and crushing.
Crushing cow, dude. Clipping cow. Crippling.
Make sure you check out
Crushing cow. Jenny Zigrino on Instagram. Jenny Zigrino Comedy on TikTok. As long as it's here, please, I don't know how political. I know that you work for the government, so I don't want to be too political, but vote no on the restrict bill. Anyways, okay, there's my thing. You're like, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, no one knows. I'm just there. But thank you so much for stopping by, Jenny. So seriously, take care. Keep clipping and crushing. Much love to you. Hope to see you soon on the road.
Thank you.